A day at the busy marketplace. It was a bright and sunny morning in the little town of Willowbrook. The streets were bustling with activity as the sun rose higher in the sky. People hurried through the cobbled streets, some carrying baskets, others pushing carts, all heading in the same direction, the busy marketplace at the heart of the town. This marketplace was where the town's energy could be felt the most, where every morning was an opportunity for new discoveries, interactions, and the exchange of goods. As Sarah stepped into the marketplace, she was greeted by a rush of sounds, the clinking of coins, the chatter of vendors shouting their prices, and the laughter of children playing in the corners. She could already feel the liveliness of the place, and the pleasant hum of activity put a smile on her face. "Fresh tomatoes! Best in the town!" shouted a man standing next to a stall piled high with bright red tomatoes. His voice was loud and clear, his face beaming with pride. Sarah walked past the vegetable stall, taking in the rich aroma of freshly picked produce. She noticed a few people inspecting the tomatoes, squeezing them gently to test for ripeness. "I need some carrots, too," Sarah thought, remembering her plan to make a healthy stew for dinner. Next, she moved to a nearby stand where an old woman was selling bunches of vibrant green herbs. The woman, with her wrinkled face and thick glasses, was bending over a basket, carefully arranging bundles of parsley, cilantro, and mint. "Good morning, my dear. How can I help you today?" the old woman asked in a warm, welcoming voice. "I'll take some mint and parsley, please," Sarah replied, trying to keep her voice polite but confident. She had been coming to this marketplace for months, but still, she was always a little nervous when speaking in English to people she didn't know. "Ah, great choice for a stew," the woman said, handing her the herbs. "You're cooking a lot today, huh?" "Yes, I am," Sarah smiled, trying to remember the right words. "I'm making a vegetable stew. It's healthy and easy to make." The woman smiled back. "Good for you, dear. You know, food always brings people together. That's the magic of a good meal." Sarah nodded, thinking how true that was. Food, after all, was something everyone could connect over. As she moved on, Sarah was drawn to a stall where a young man was selling handmade soaps. The stall smelled of lavender, eucalyptus, and honey. Sarah stopped to admire the beautifully crafted soaps. "Would you like to try one?" the young man asked. "These are made from all natural ingredients. I make them myself." Sarah picked up a lavender soap and inhaled the calming scent. "It smells wonderful. How much is this one?" she asked. "It's just $5, he replied, giving her a friendly smile. "I'll take one, thank you," Sarah said, handing over the money. As she did, she noticed another vendor nearby selling colorful scarves. The scarves were made from bright, soft fabric, and Sarah couldn't resist touching one. The vendor, a woman with a cheerful smile, noticed her interest and waved her over. "These scarves are made from the finest cotton. Perfect for the spring weather," she said enthusiastically. "Would you like to try one on?" Sarah nodded and chose a soft blue scarf. She draped it over her shoulders and admired herself in the small mirror the vendor had set up. "It's beautiful," Sarah said, "but I think I'll just stick with the soap today." The vendor laughed. "I understand. It's always tempting, though, isn't it?" She gave Sarah a knowing wink. As Sarah continued her stroll through the marketplace, she was impressed by the diversity of goods being sold. There were handmade candles, baskets of freshly baked bread, jars of honey from the local beekeepers, and even a stall with colorful handmade pottery. She stopped by a stall with fresh bread and bought a warm loaf of sourdough. The baker, a middle-aged man with flour on his apron, handed her the bread with a smile. "Fresh out of the oven," he said, his voice full of pride. "Thank you," Sarah said, carefully wrapping the bread in a cloth. She always liked buying fresh bread from this baker. It had the perfect texture, warm on the outside and soft on the inside. As Sarah reached the end of the marketplace, she took a moment to enjoy the scene around her. The sun was now shining brightly, and the marketplace seemed more alive than ever. People were chatting, haggling over prices, and laughing. It was clear that this was more than just a place to buy and sell things. It was a community hub. It was a place for connection, conversation, and sharing. While heading back to her car, Sarah realized how much she had learned during her visit. Not only had she bought all the ingredients for her stew, but she had also learned a few new English phrases and expressions that she could use in future conversations. For instance, when the herb seller had said, "Good for you, dear," Sarah had learned how to express approval in a friendly, informal way. On the way home, Sarah reflected on the experience. The marketplace had given her so much more than fresh produce and handmade goods. It had offered a lesson in conversation, vocabulary, and culture. Sarah realized that the best way to improve her English was to immerse herself in real-life situations, just like this one. Every interaction, no matter how small, was a step toward fluency. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to support the channel in your own way. Subscribe to get a new English story every day. Your continued learning journey matters, and every step counts. Let's keep improving together. What kind of story would you like to hear next? Let us know in the comments.